I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Hello, everybody. Are you intentionally muting yourself? Is this kind of a new trick or something? And we're off to a good start. So welcome to the show, guys. Sunday night. You can pretty much tell that we'll chalk this up to daylight savings time. You know, us old folks here, it infects us a little bit more than the rest. Let's go to let's see the reaction. Okay, we were talking earlier before the show started about snacks, and these were called pub mix. So that's catching everybody up to speed.
I think I'm back.
Mac, hello. Hold on. Was that Ryan talking?
Yeah. Is that me?
Hey, I can hear you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Let's see. We have
What
a
are you
request to
doing?
get you. We got a request to get you an intern. So,
Boy, tell me about it. It doesn't pay too well, but it is certainly something we want. We are getting close. Eddie will be here in just a second. Before we start, you're 23 hours from basketball, and that is going to be a lot of fun. This guy's job has gotten a lot easier in the last 9 days because of beating Utah, beating Kansas State. That's Eddie Nuñez, your VP for Intercollegiate Athletics. Eddie, how are you? Did I mute him too?
Good, guys. Do you hear me well? I just
Yes,
don't know
sir.
if I'm getting a
We do.
good connection or not.
You're great.
Gotcha.
So last 9 days, your football team has gone to another level.
Does
that make your life easier?
You guys.
Okay. See, it's not just me. The internet is hard.
I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna swap my internet and get back on if y'all
Okay.
Yeah, not a problem.
are getting it.
So again, this is going quite well. We appreciate y'all.
It's all
It's
that
hard.
rain. It's all that rain. See, we're not used to rain sticking around. We're just used to it coming through, destroying everything, and then us getting back to business.
Something like that. How about Star Pizza? Great
How
people,
about it?
good food. You had it last night? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The dinner of champions and the breakfast of really fat people.
Really fat people. 3 locations, specials all week long. You got the buffets on Tuesdays and Fridays. Star Pizza. Get you some.
Delicious.
So, all right. I think we could get Eddie back right now. Let's see if this works. Eddie, are you there?
I am. You hear me?
Ah, damn.
Yes,
sir. We
sir.
do. So your job has gotten easier in the last 9 days. Like you have become a genius all of a sudden, winning 2 football games. That's good management.
Yeah. I if anybody believes that it was a sole person that made that happen, no. That's a wonderful compliment to Willie and his staff and everything they've done. But no, I'm just supporting in every way possible to help make it happen.
Okay. So we do not kiss ass too much. But the rollout of this Houston blue has been, from our vantage point, flawless. Y'all have really killed it. Why was this something you identified early on that you wanted to tackle?
Yeah, and first of all, I got to give kudos to the team. There was a lot of people within my staff, within the university, general counsel's office, communications. Everybody had the intent to try to make this work. They've been working behind the scenes for the last year, working with the NFL, working through some of those logistical issues. But for me, more than anything else, was making sure that we did everything we can to roll out the best way. And so I just didn't want to put it in our bookstore. I didn't want to put it in other places. And again, compliments to our staff. Everybody were thinking outside the box. They were trying to do more. For me, it was, okay, we're going to roll it out. Let's roll it out with plenty of time. Let's make sure that we do it with the intent to try to give our fans a runway so that they have it for the Baylor game. And then so everybody started working together, the bookstore, licensing on campus, merchandising, everyone. We really started approaching all the vendors and seeing what we can do. So rolling it out really was a process of just getting everybody in the room together and understanding that this was bigger than just us trying to roll out something small. We knew the impact that this could have on our community and our fan base. And so if we did it right, and nothing's ever perfect. There's things that we're going to learn from this, that we're going to continue to do better. I know we had people on social media sending me tweets saying, hey, certain stores are out of merchandise. That's actually a good thing. That means people are buying it, and we can always order more. We can order more. We can get more products. And but more than anything else, we're rolling it out with the right intent to try to give our fans. I mean, why wouldn't we put more merchandise out there? So you're going to see that intention across the board in everything we do. We're going to be more focused on trying to put out what's best for our fans. Opening up the store by the stadium. I mean, getting to that point, working with campus. It wasn't that it was hard. It was just making sure everybody understand why we were doing it and how much it could benefit the fan experience. And at the end of the day, also the revenue stream. So many ways and many reasons why we did that, what we did.
The opening of that store, have you seen a positive effect with that?
Yeah, and I apologize to our fan base. There was a miscommunication for the first week, which was not last week, the Utah game. We were able to only get in the morning of instead of a couple days before to get it set up with more merchandise. You saw better results this past game where they had more time to set it up, to bring more gear, to have more apparel in there. So every game we're going to go along, the more you're going to see that store really come to life. So I'd love to be able to have that permanently, and that's something I'm going to continue to pursue, something close to the stadiums and our venues that our fans could come, easily accessible parking, make it a destination. The bookstore does a great job, but it's hard sometimes to get there on campus during the week. So we want to make sure that we offer opportunities for our fans to be able to come on, the rest of the time.
Did you have the Baylor game identified early on as where you wanted this to kind of be the introduction back?
Yeah, our staff did a great job figuring out what was the best outcome. They wanted to do it versus an in-state rival or an in-state opponent, and it really just suited it perfectly with the Baylor game. So that was identified very early when I first got here as the game and I had to sit there and listen and try to think about all the things, why not, what positives, where we were during the year. Because again, you got to think about it. Where's the program too? Are we having strides that people are going to get behind it? So we did a lot of due diligence, and but they did a great job helping set this up and teeing it up for us.
You've got products with Nike and 47 and others. Has that been an easy process to get that during the school year?
Yeah, actually it has. One of the things that we did, and this is one of the things that I really wanted to focus on over the last several weeks, was making sure we reached out to Cutter and Buck, to Peter Millar, to all these stores that do also branding with us, licensing with us, and asked them to be a part of this. So sure, Nike came on board quickly. Sure, some of the other ones came on board quickly, but the reality is we wanted to try to get it to everybody. Anybody who's licensed with our brand should have an opportunity to jump into this Houston Blue chance to put as much merchandise. Our fans want to purchase it. They want to get the Houston brand, not just on red, black, and white shirts. They want to see it on that blue. So they were excited. You're going to see more as we go along. I'm going to try to continue to reach out to our licensing partners and see how much more they can get involved.
So
I'll give you a quick stat, Brad and Ryan, because I just got this today. Social media and all our analytics that we track from October 31st to November 3rd, all our UH athletic social media accounts, we had over 2 million impressions in those couple days.
Yeah.
We had over 342,000 video views. And then if you think about all the other platforms that are out there, plus that are not UH brand or paid Houston, we estimated that over 134 million earned, views and stuff. So when you think about those several platforms on just a rollout, what it did, if we do things right, we take our time and make sure that we listen to our fans, we target things that are important, it could really resonate in a positive for the university and athletics.
Building on that, 1 second, Brad.
Yeah.
It's been teased a little bit with Jordan and basketball. Is there going to be Jordan gear in the near future?
Only time will tell. I'm gonna leave it like that. Every team's gonna have an opportunity to roll the blue gear out at some point, and how that looks and how unique their uniform is going to be part of the rollout. And we want our fans to embrace it at those times. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'll leave our fans holding and waiting, and if we don't for some reason, I promise you, it's in the horizon. It's coming.
Okay, Brad.
You were talking about the analytics. I mean, very interested in hearing you talk about that, because usually the success of kind of rollouts like this in campaigns, at the end of the day, it comes down to P&L to determine how successful it is. But we know that P&L is not going to be a factor early on.
Yeah.
Is your focus more on the analytics and more of the branding, the reach to be able to get out to more and more people? Is that how you're determining the success of these early on?
A little bit of both. I would say it's not one more than the other. I think for me, it's I've listened to our fans since I arrived here and I've seen it around town. The branding opportunities are endless, and we're just not maybe putting our best foot forward as an institution, as an athletic department. And so listening and watching and seeing now what we did with this blue rollout is we wanted to see the response of our fan base. And we have. I walked around the stadium. I talked to people on Friday when we rolled it out. I've seen many, actually today going through town, I saw people wearing it, and it made me proud because I know that we've made a difference. So yes, the dollar sign at the end of the day is going to be important. And that's, again, that helps the athletic department, it helps the university, it helps overall. But when you start thinking about, are we doing the right things, and are we touching? It's not, and it's like I said earlier, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be. We're going to do everything to the best of our ability, and so we're going to keep learning. We're going to keep tweaking things. We're going to make them better. Hopefully, next time we roll something out that's a little bit different, a little bit unique, it's going to have the things that we're going to learn from this are going to make that one even more special.
Right. And as far as working with your licensing partners, are you going out and seeking new partners through that avenue, or are people coming to you? Which way does the whole thing flow?
It flows usually from a little bit of both. Again, I'm probably going to be a little bit more aggressive and reaching out to those out there. Johnny O's another brand. They've done a great job with our brand. The more we can get partners like Johnny O, like Peter Millar, like Cutter and Buck, that embrace the UH brand, that embrace our logos, our license brands, that's going to make it even better. I went to one of the area country clubs today to meet with somebody, and I walked into the pro shop, And in there, I see some other institutions' gear. And I asked the young lady behind the register, I said, "Where's the Houston stuff?" She says, we get a certain amount and it flies off the shelf. And my whole thing is, well, if it flies off the shelf, why weren't you putting more? So
what can we do to make this happen?
Yeah, I promise you, I'm going to make a call, as many as I can, to the right people to see how we can get more in those places and try to put more out there. So it's going to be us as our working with our university licensing office, trying to get out there, trying to reach out those partners. And heck, if there's some out there that we're missing, let us know. I mean, I'm not going to say everybody's going to be on board and support it, but everything's worth a call. And so, so it's worth a call and a chance to get more representing us.
Yeah, because one thing that getting to be able to, a long time ago we talked about going to U of A or to LSU games. One thing I was always amazed is that I can find LSU gear of all different kinds and all different qualities all over the region, and I would love to see U of H kind of do the exact same thing. The more gear, the better gear, putting it on anything and everything possible, kind of like Kiss did back in the 70s.
Yeah, I think you're going to have I don't know if it's going to be Kiss now, but I think you're going to have a version of it, because LSU's got a unique hold on that state when it comes to their brands, way above everybody else's. And so we want to go head to head with Texas. We want to go head to head with Baylor. We want to go head to head with A&M. For us, we see ourselves in that same space, and we know with the endless number of alumni and supporters that we have, not just in Houston proper, but if you start thinking Dallas and everywhere else around the state, we have to get our brand more. We have to get the airport. I want people to walk around and see items that they can buy on the way in and on the way out. So we're gonna continue to do this. These are low-hanging fruit that we can try to take advantage of. They make a big difference, but they're not really hard for us to be able to. It does take time, but it's not hard. It just takes time.
Right. Yep.
The airport idea, fantastic.
We're working on it.
You're getting all these products, but something you've mentioned is quality control. You want quality products. How do you balance getting a lot of product out versus that quality control? And how do you manage that?
Yeah, it's look, you got the bootleggers out there that are going to do stuff. They're going to put stuff on the market that that's not licensed. What's hard for people to understand is, as much as I want our brand out there, I also want to make sure that we are compensated as an institution, because that's what really makes a difference for us. Yes, building our brand around, seeing it all over the city, seeing people wear it with pride is important. On the other side, it's also making sure that the institution is benefiting from that, because that resonates across all areas, athletics being one of the biggest ones. And so for us, when we talk about where this business is going, and when we talk rev share and we talk all these crazy pieces of our industry, trying to capitalize on these areas are important. So we want to make sure that we have brands that we believe in, brands that believe in us, and are putting it in quality. It's not just putting it on a white shirt. We want to make sure that, there's different styles and different things, and that it's good fabric, and people are appreciative of what they do and how they run their business.
From your point of view,
don't forget big and tall.
Yeah, actually, I actually have it on top of my list of one of the things to follow up with tomorrow. Gentleman came in and said, "Hey, some more 3Xs," and I said, "You know what? Thank you for reminding me." I said, I don't know how many they make, but we can ask for more.
Eddie, we're talking bigger. Yeah.
Again, we start where we can. I can't go like that. 4 and 5X. I mean, let's take this.
I love it.
Do you remember when you were at LSU and they would feed Mike the Tiger like 40 pounds of raw meat a day?
Oh yeah,
that's Brad.
Yeah, I saw that firsthand. So
yeah,
that's good, Brad. Oh man, we got to work on that.
Last night, the blackout. From your point of view, from what you heard, what did people think about that? It's worked at U of H a lot of times.
Yeah, it was hard because of the weather. I mean, I think the blackout is a great situation that if if the institution really does everything it can to brand it and support it. Yes, I know people asked why the heck did we roll out the blue before the black game. I get it, but I wanted to make sure that we got enough out there for our fans to buy before the Baylor game. So, but no, it from all aspects, it rolled out really well. The black game, everything turned out well. The weather wasn't cooperating with us for the most part, and so it pulled probably some people away from the game to come early. Some even coming at all, and some left early. But those that stayed. Saw an unbelievable experience. Saw another great game, and I think that's what our fans need to start coming out, seeing that. Look, rain or shine, our guys are going to keep fighting, and that's one of the things that Willie has really instilled in this program is these guys are unbelievable individuals. They represent this program the right way, but more than anything else, they stay the course. They keep fighting. Every play, and to win, you got to be able to have someone find a way, and that's what these guys are doing.
We have a reader question. What do you see as the brand of the university?
The brand. What do I see as far as like the logo?
Well, U of H has at times had an identity crisis. People don't know how to take it. What do you see if you were selling U of H to a student or a sponsor? What do you say?
That's a lot. You could say, because again, here I am as a new person at the institution. I'm still learning a lot of great things every day about the institution. But I would tell you from just to start off, the experience that you can obtain at a first-class university that is diverse, provides everything that you want firsthand, is what UH is about. And from an athletic side of it, you talk about the ability to be competitive and compete for championships in every sport. You have the ability. Have we done it? Absolutely. Are we doing it consistently? No, there's something we got to do better. And that's and you know what? Those coaches know it, and those student athletes want it more than anything else. So I would say the ability to be successful, and I know this is the cliche that a lot of people hear, but the ability to be successful in the class, on the fields and on the court. So be able to be successful to get a degree, to be able to compete for a championship at the highest level at the Big 12 and nationally. And then more than anything else is one of the things we're going to push as much as you can is be able to be developed and go on past University of Houston for life. And that's what's most important, is preparing these young men, the young women, so that they're ready for life financially, etiquette, classes. You've heard me say it, the little nuances that people need to understand, how to get networking, communication, and then be true ambassadors to this city. Because many of our student athletes, when they graduate, some go home. A lot of them stay here. A lot of them stay in the Houston area, and this becomes home to them. So showing them how important this community is and starting them not just to give back, but give back in a positive way is huge.
Okay. Brad, do you have anything?
I do have another question here that just came up that I was interested in, because it's a question that we don't hear very often. Have you considered there might be a need for potential more student tickets?
So here's the funny part.
That's a unique problem for us.
Yeah. So we averaged, I think it was right under 5,000 last year. This year we've had already several games over 5,000, one game closer to 7,000. And so this past game, we also it was right at that 5,000 mark. Unfortunately, a lot of kids probably left before it even got there.
Right.
One of the things we're not going to do is we're not going to turn away students. We have the capabilities to put more in there. And so that's one thing that I appreciate about the way the stadium is and how things have been approached is we can push more students in. And I went and I actually met with our student government and our student fee review board, review committee, last week. And that was the one thing I told them. We will not pull students back. If we can get you in that venue, we will get you in. It's not about a specific number. I want to push as many as I can within the fire marshal restrictions before we get dinged any which way or how. but I am going to push as many as I can. So our students should never feel like they can't get into one of our venues. Come on out there. I mean, I want them to get it early so we know who's coming. But if not, just show up. We'll get you in.
Okay, so that's for basketball as well. So tomorrow night, if however many students show up, if there's seats, if there's not seats.
If there's seats,
Yeah.
and then we have some areas that are standing room only areas that we can kind of put some more individuals there. This is one of those things that make it a problem for us. I hate to say it that way. Make it a problem. We'll figure it out. And this is too special of a department that we should be able to figure things out. And if we don't have it today, we're going to have it. I'll promise you we'll have it tomorrow.
That's what you need to do, students. Create more meetings. Make them work.
Don't create more meetings for in general. We don't need to meet. We'll figure this out. We'll work it out.
Exactly. But you're dead on right. You know, it's not a problem until it's a problem. So they've got to be out there and cause that overflow.
Yeah.
They're the energy that they provide, that energy for all our student athletes and everything else. I mean, when they're rocking that first game, look, it wasn't a great game, but UNLV is a really good team. I think people weren't aware of how good they were, but the reality is that student fan base, the student section was unbelievable. And if we could get them like that every game, it's going to be hard to compete in our TDECU stadium. Sorry, try to say it too fast, lost it there.
All right, that was Eddie Nuñez. Thank you, Eddie, so much for coming on and talking with us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. You guys have somebody on my staff, Kelly, coming on next or something like that?
Kelly coming on next. Yeah. Everything that we couldn't say to you, we're going to say to him.
Make him work, man. Make him work. No, honestly, I will tell you this. He took an opportunity to reach out and put it out there about asking fans, and he was inundated. And he came into my office and he's like, how do we address this? And I said, start putting it together. And one of the things that I appreciate about what he's done, and he's really taken the lead on this. So I'm complimenting because that's what you want. You want someone understanding how to figure this out. He went out, started calling people, started saying, look, we're going to look into this. We're going to try. And then he was coming in our office, others, and saying, what do we need to do? How to make this happen? So he's a good one, and he's doing exactly what we need to do, is not just email people back, pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, listen, this is where we are, and this is how we're going to figure this out. So enjoy him, because he's a special one. He's going to continue to grow in this business.
Great. I appreciate that, Eddie. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Have a great one.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. That was Eddie Nuñez.
Love it.
I thought that was pretty good. I think he answered a lot of the questions we had. We tried to get to as many of the questions I was seeing in the comments. I missed a few, but we'll get to it. They're doing a really good job of listening. That has not always been the case here. A lot of people in administrations in the past have said either we invent it or it doesn't matter. And these people are listening. Kelly going out there asking for suggestions on the internet. I was like, uh-oh. But from what he told me, it's going pretty good for him. He's going to come on in just a few minutes and talk with us about 8:35, I think. Brad, what did you think about what you just heard?
At the beginning when we met first time he was on the show, I was impressed. He told me what I wanted to hear without knowing what I wanted to hear. And so, you hear that, and then you got me listening. Okay. I'm ready to pay attention.
Yeah.
And everything he's done since then he's proved exactly what he's talked about, that he's standing on it and going forward and making things happen. And this rollout, I really can't stress enough of how impressed I am with this. And the thing that makes it even more impressive is that it goes along with everything that he said he was going to do. So it doesn't feel like it's just a one-off thing that caught lightning in a bottle. That this is just the way, this is standard operating procedure, and this is just the way things are going to go. Which is huge. I mean, I loved hearing the fact that it seems like the common theme is we are open to getting things done when it makes sense, and we're going to do everything possible to get those things done.
The weirdest thing for me is having someone acknowledge this is low-hanging fruit. We can go win these easily and do it fast. And
Right.
it's recognizing that, but it's also going and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the adding the store was for this. It was building into the store near the stadium. And then you've got these on Fanatics, at Dick's, at the Rally House, which is fantastic. The store on campus, and then Academy. And I mean, that's where you need to have them to start out. And you're going to see them in other places. You're going to see them at Buc-ee's. You're going to see them here and there. And these guys are. I mean, it's weird to say, but they're doing the right things.
Right. And it doesn't, but it doesn't seem like it takes an act of Congress to get these things.
It's like, okay, we know this isn't hard. We're going to go figure it out. And
right.
Fanatics does have them. They don't have a ton right now. I'm seeing, but they do have stuff. They have a jersey. They have a sweat shirt, a hoodie, and something else. I saw hats on the Academy website, on Dick's. I mean, they're getting it out. And the fact that they were able to get so many things out so quickly is encouraging.
Hey, by the way, I just looked up on Amazon. I found a 5X T-shirt, so we're good to go.
Okay.
They didn't have that. They didn't have that a month ago.
That might not be a regulated, approved.
It was
vendor.
it said it was on U of H's shop or whatever.
Okay. Oh, that's right. They have an Amazon shop now. All right. Here's Kelly Marchbanks on his couch, ready to go. We appreciate this, Kelly.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. We're good to
Perfect.
go.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Appreciate you taking the time.
Brad, nice to meet you. I don't know if we've ever met in person, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, that's Brad. He's another guy.
You'll hear bad things.
Kelly.
Hey, as long as we get you your shirt, that's all that matters.
That's right. That's right.
Boy, he will kiss y'all's ass so hard you get him a shirt. That's all it'll take.
Tarp,
shirt, right.
Whatever.
Moo. Kelly, you went online and said, "Hey, tell me what we need to do better." What? Number one, why? And number two, what has that reaction been?
Yeah, so it really started this summer. Out on our Cougs on the road and other fundraising events we had this summer, talking to people, and really kind of at our first couple games, talking to people in the concourse. And I really got this feeling that there was kind of a void that wasn't being filled, where folks felt like maybe their voice wasn't being heard. They had a lot of suggestions, and for me, I would have done it a little different. I would have put my email out again. I think it was important to have some ownership, for somebody to have some accountability and put a face and an actual email to it, versus our Cougar Pride or another email we could have used. But, I probably would have had everybody put the same subject line, so my inbox wouldn't be such a kind of train wreck like it is right now. But that's okay. But no, the feedback was great. So right off the bat, the tweet kind of got seen by a lot of people. My inbox started to fill up, started to get a lot of calls scheduled. So I went to Eddie's office, and credit to him. I mean, when he came on board, it was one of those things that, you never know if it's coach speak or not. When the new leadership says, "Hey, I have an open door policy, come on in anytime." And to his credit, he was telling the truth. And I came in, I said, "This is what's going on. It's getting some traction. I'm getting a lot of feedback, getting on a lot of calls." And to his credit, he said, "I want to read every single email. I want to hear from the fans." And so right now I'm still kind of working through them. I've replied to every email, and I've got another 10, 15 calls or so set for this week. So if you haven't sent an email in yet, or we haven't got on a call, let's do it this week. I think the plan hopefully will be to present to Eddie and all the other department leaders the following Monday. So not tomorrow, but the next week. So if you have time, send me your emails. Let's get on a call, and I want to hear from you.
Awesome. How many suggestions or ideas have you received roughly?
Legitimate ones, the ones that I'm taking seriously, probably 60 or so emails, and then I've probably that are legitimate, substance to them. And then we probably had about 20 to 30 calls so far, with another hopefully 15 this week, and then a lot of Twitter as well. So that was kind of this summer too. I've been a social media guy, and I started tweeting a little bit and replying to people. And normally I was just kind of retweeting the main accounts, and started engaging a little more, and realized that I need to do a better job to provide that place where fans could come and someone would listen, and they know that it would be seen. And so far it's been great. I mean, to Eddie's point of the low hanging fruit, a lot of them were things like, hey, let's get another porta potty in the blue lot. Let's get trash cans in the RV lot. Somebody let me know the women's restroom, there was soap dispensers that needed replacing. So things like that, I would just get them to the people smarter than me in their respective departments, and those things got done. Now, for the bigger feedback, suggestions, complaints, that's the stuff that I'm going to bring and present to Eddie and the other senior leadership.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this. I know that probably the easiest part is to ask for suggestions, because everybody's got a million of them. But behind that, have you been able to kind of formulate an action plan from taking the input to going through execution? Has it gotten to that part, or are we still just in the information gathering stage?
Yeah, right now we're in the information gathering stage, and really kind of starting the next Monday is when we'll start to have the bigger picture conversation action items. Again, the little stuff, things that we can do immediately, we can fix. We're already going ahead, knocking it out, following up with those individuals that brought those to our attention, making sure it was done. So I've got a list for tomorrow to make sure that the Utah game, some things that people had asked for were done. But so after that is really when we'll start kind of attacking the bigger things. Now, I've gotten a lot of putting a dome on the stadium. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Just it's not breaking any news. There's some other things like that obviously are just not feasible right now, and especially with our evolving business and everything coming down the pipeline. I mean, there's going to have to be some hard decisions on resources and resource allocation, but everything we can do to improve the fan experience, we're going to do. I mean, that's a big priority for Eddie. I think we all realize kind of the competition we're up against. Everybody has a beautiful 60, 80 inch, whatever TV at home, HD. There's always excuses, Houston traffic. And so we got to do everything we can to make it a true experience where people are coming. There's that college pageantry. There's that community. They're having a good time. And I can't miss a Coug game. We're not there, and we got a long way to go, but that's the goal. And that's what we're going to work towards every day.
Well, I'll tell you what, just the fact that you recognize that and the staff recognizes that goes a long way, because that truly is the battle that you're fighting. We like to talk about, all the different competitive events that go on in the city, but really it comes down to your number one competitor is the couch, because it's too convenient. I mean, it's just really convenient. And the fact that you guys know and believe that the actual experience is what's going to draw people, that makes me feel good. I like to hear that.
Yeah, and something that I did want to mention to everybody that's listening. So I think in this summer, we had a lot of transition, and in that, definitely, in these conversations, I've realized that it probably was a bigger problem than I even realized. So that's on me as well. But our entire ticket office was essentially turned over, and it was unfortunately during our renewal season, which caused a lot of pain points and a lot of heartburn for people. And we've got to earn that trust back. I mean, there's no excuse for a poor experience. You're choosing to spend your discretionary income with us supporting the school. We got to give you a good experience. Customer service has to be top of mind. Unfortunately, it just to no fault of anyone there, it just was the timing of a lot of different things out of our control. But my point being, we do have now Nick Buckley. He is our associate AD of ticketing. He came from Tennessee. He's been on the job now 2 months, I believe, and has got some new reps under him. They're awesome, a lot of great energy. So I would encourage folks, if they haven't, to reach out to Nick, reach out to the ticket office, call any of us at Cougar Pride. We'd love to meet you, build that relationship, and have that where you can go to somebody, I can call that person if I need something done, and they can get it done. So I would encourage everybody to reach out to Nick and his team.
Awesome.
So the dome is not a possibility, but AC, could you just air condition anyways?
I don't think anything's off the table. the full AC outside, probably not.
Can you bring back the palm trees? Yeah. Palm trees?
The palm trees.
I would love to.
Kelly,
don't get me wrong. Those are awesome.
Have you gotten any suggestions that y'all just hadn't thought about previously? Like just were so far off the radar, but are like, oh, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or a good question. Excuse me. A lot of it is what you think, right? I mean, there's a ton that I've gotten on merchandise. The blue was a big one. I kind of had to play coy and dumb with that. And there was a couple that had sent me. I got 2 or 3 on Thursday afternoon, specific emails about blue merchandise, and I knew the announcement was coming, so I played coy and said, "Oh well, I appreciate your candid feedback, and this will all be, whatever." I said some, knowing that they would see it the next day. But merchandise. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. The tailgate. There's been some suggestions on certain things we can do, and other schools we can look to model the tailgating scene there. Not necessarily things we haven't thought of, but when you hear it and hear it and hear it again, we know it's something that we need to make this a priority and put some work behind it.
Mm-hmm. So I have a bigger question, I guess. You're in development. Why is this a development issue?
Well, it's a Houston athletics issue, right? I mean, my job is easier when the fan experience is better. It's easier to ask people for money when they're having a good time and they feel like their money is going to the right place. They know what their money is going to. I think in these conversations, that's something that needs to be a priority for us is explaining more kind of where your dollar is going, what you're impacting, the real true value you'll have for the student athletes. I think that's something that in this, and don't get me wrong, like I am taking, facilities things to the facilities experts. I'm taking marketing things to our marketing team. I'm not trying to wear every hat or be involved in other departments. This was just something that, was important to me. And I was a fan. I had season tickets at the Fertitta Center before I worked here. So I like to always just put myself in those shoes and what would I want to see? What would I want to hear? And I think for our fans, transparency, being open, listening, communication, them feeling like they have some ownership in this department. And it's not just us raining down things from the sky, but they have a say. Now, obviously, I mean, realistically, things are going to take time. We can't change everything overnight, to Eddie's point, but he's really big on every day getting a little bit better. And it's a cliche, but I've seen him live it, and he's leading that way, leading from the front. There's no, okay, well, what's, let's not find the problem. Like, let's find the solution. But yeah, so that's kind of a roundabout, too many word answer for your question there.
Yeah, the reason I asked is it feels less transactional than it's been in the past. It feels like a whole department solution. Like if you from development are asking these questions, knowing the answers or the questions you're going to get, it feels like the customer is being elevated in a way. Like, we know that you have these discretionary dollars. Come spend them with us. And here's why you're going to want to do that. You have to win customers now. It's not 30 years ago where it was just kind of an expectation.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And when we have these customers, a lot of times, and I'm not talking about our loyal diehards, we've got this amazing group of people that a lot of them that are watching right now that, they're coming to Coug games no matter what, and we can't take them for granted too. Their opinion matters just as much, if not even more. I mean, but these fans that maybe are coming for the first time, and we've got one shot to give them a real experience, show them a good time, so they come back. So that's important, right? We want to hear from them. What do they want to see? What experiences they want? Again, there are things that we can't necessarily do overnight. This is all going to take time, but we're going to keep working hard to improve every day.
Yeah. And I think if people continually see you out there at games, online, they will, the connection will build. And I think that's exactly what y'all are doing. Thanks for being here, being accessible. It makes a difference. We can email you. So you can find us online, and on social media, on Twitter, everywhere else. And you can DM him, you can respond to a tweet, and he'll see it all, right?
Yeah, please come join us on Twitter. I there are a lot of stuff. I'm not going to reply if it's controversial. It's a little bit like Mayberry over at my Twitter. I've been called the Sunshine Pumper, but that's okay. Come have a good time. We'll try my best to reply to everyone I can. My email is online on the staff directory. My direct line is there. Call me anytime. I just ask that you please leave a voicemail so I can make sure to get back to you. But I'll always call you back, always available. And then really anybody in Cougar Pride. We've got a great team there that if you guys haven't met everyone out there, if you haven't had a chance to talk to Alvin Franklin yet, please do. He's an amazing human being. He does a whole lot, not just for our development office in Cougar Pride, but for the department that people don't know about. He's a awesome guy behind the scenes that a lot of people rely on. So in my opinion, UH is lucky to have him. And if you haven't had a conversation with Alvin, please do yourself the pleasure.
I agree with that. This one, mostly productive feedback. Trolls won't get a response unless objectively hilarious.
Yeah,
has anything been objective?
Really
has anyone been objectively hilarious?
No, not yet. There's been some
work harder, trolls. Okay.
The trolls, like, come on, let's work harder there. No, I'd probably just regret saying that, but no, if they're funny and they're creative, like I'll give them a reply. I'll give them a ha and well done. But no, nothing yet to write home about.
Okay. Address tailgating pavilions promise to be restored. This is from 11 years ago. I would encourage you to email Kelly and start a conversation. Maybe this isn't the right venue for that specific question, but we are trying to get any that come across. Thanks for doing everything. That's from Gary. My question. Look at this. You got a friend.
Bella wanted some screen time.
Yeah, everybody wants on screen. I want a black mat helmet. Can you make that happen? You run equipment, right? So just make that happen.
Hey, Brad shirt, helmet. We got the list going.
Yeah, black mat helmet. That's all I want. I don't need it for me. I just want to see it. I love the way those look. You're seeing a lot more of it.
Yeah,
not the thing you're talking about there, Brad. Okay, going to be emailing soon. There you go.
Love it.
Brad, do you have anything else for Kelly?
No, we get the updated email address and everything.
Yep, we got him. You can find him social media, uhcougars.com. Go to departments directory, Cougar Pride. Kelly is right there.
It's on my Twitter too. I'll go ahead and pin it after this, just so people can go there as well as another resource. But yeah, please send your feedback. Would love to get on a call. Love to get to know you. Like you said, this is not going to be a pitch. This is just going to be a listening session. Just you have the floor. I have these big yellow notepads that I'm just jotting everything down, and it's all going to get typed up and go up top. So whatever you want leadership to see, this is now the time to do it. And after this, just to be clear, so I want this to be continued. Feedback is always open. I'm always here to listen. This is not just after we do this week, then it's done, and we're not going to listen to you anymore. Anytime, we're always available.
You hear that, everybody?
Okay.
Reach out and say something.
Please.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. We appreciate your time. That was really good.
Of course, and if I could, real quick, just get on my soapbox. So,
Sure.
if we could please, and this is not really to anybody listening to here, because I know you guys are going to be there, but if you can reach out to your network, to your coworkers, to your friends, to your other Cougs, that haven't been coming, please get them to come to the Baylor game. They can call me, they can call Nick in our ticket office, they can go online. We have deals all the time. SeatGeek, we always prefer that you go through us, but SeatGeek is our partner. You can go through there. There's always good deals available. These kids, they're busting their tails. This coaching staff, I can tell you, being in the building, I mean, Coach Fritz is not only changing the culture of the football program, but the entire department. And it's hard not to pour into that guy. And, these kids deserve a rockin' TDCU for this last game. It's the blue game. Come out, have fun. Fingers crossed we have cold weather. Finally, I had circled these last two games, and yet I was still sweating there yesterday. But hopefully, we'll have a nice weather day. But please come out and support these kids and support this team.
I agree. Take the week off, everybody. But go to
Enjoy
Toyota
the
Center,
bye
I
week.
guess.
That's right.
Yeah. Go to Toyota Center for Auburn and Houston. All right, Kelly, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate it. You guys have a good night. Thank you
All right,
again.
thank
Thank you.
Go Cougs.
So it was a little different night. A couple of guests that normally wouldn't have.
I tell you
Talking
what,
about
man,
subjects we really wouldn't talk about, but good stuff.
if you can't feel something's in the air, then you got problems. And it started. Well, I mean, of course, it started a long time ago with Kelvin.
Yeah.
But
Not taking your suggestions, by the way. So, yeah, he's not taking your suggestions.
Kelvin?
Yeah.
I'm not going to suggest anything to him.
Well, I meant anybody, not just you, dumbass.
Well, okay. Nobody should be suggesting anything to that man. But with the addition of Willie, with the addition of Eddie, it seems like we've got a lot of people that are on the same page. And what for decades we looked at as things that were very, very difficult, these guys look at as low-hanging fruit. These guys look at these are just foundational things to focus on, that what we in the past were told were just too hard to do.
Can't do it. Just can't do it.
Yeah,
I mean, think about this.
We don't make enough money to do that. We don't have it. We can't do this. We can't do that.
We're in Conference USA. We're in the American. We're in whatever. Those days are gone. And I'm going to tell you this. You have, and I'm not blowing smoke here, but you have people in communications that work to get guys like that on a show like this.
Right.
I mean, relatively, we're pretty small. Are we big in the U of H community? Yes. But, I mean, come on. But they get the AD. We've had the AD twice in 8 weeks, 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We've had the head football coach, the head basketball coach, probably get any other head coach we wanted. But they see us as part of the machine that gets the communications, that gets this department out there looking forward. And 5 years ago, that would have never happened. We would have never gotten a head coach on this. We'd have never gotten the AD on this.
No.
And you'd have never had a guy like Kelly asking for suggestions and following up.
When you didn't have these people looking for interaction with the fans.
Well, I mean, Kelly
were going
is
out
looking for problems, right?
Right.
I mean, he's seeking out problems.
Mm-hmm.
Just haven't seen that. And it's easy to be discouraged by what you see at U of H. But that ship might have sailed.
Well, they laid out the plans of what they wanted to do and what their intention was to do. And so far, every bit of what they've talked about that they wanted to do, especially up front, they're doing it. So I have no reason to believe that they can't do everything that they've talked about. It's not going to come immediately, just like in football, it's not going to change overnight, but using football as the example, we've seen change over the last 2 months. I mean, Ryan mentioned it early when Eddie was first on the show. It's a different world from 9 days ago. Just 9 days, everything has changed. I mean, we literally sat here listening to my meltdown after Kansas, and then all of a sudden we go from nothing but doom crying to holy shit, we legitimately have a shot. I don't know if we'll do it, but we legitimately have a shot at extending the season. It's not out of the realm of possibility, whereas 9 days ago it was over.
Yeah. I mean, for the first 7 weeks of the season, 8 weeks of the season, my 3 wins seemed a little, it seemed like that was exactly what this team is going to be. And now no one's thinking this is going to stop at 4. And that's crazy. Tomorrow night, 22 hours, you start a journey that'll last 22 weeks, right through the Final Four, Monday night in San Antonio. I mean, you could be at the start of something really, really cool at the University of Houston. You've had it for basketball, but getting the two to work together. You had a 2021 season where you won 12 games. That felt artificial and not real. You weren't beating anybody.
Well,
right?
it was the worst schedule in U of H history.
And maybe one of the worst in the country. And this, maybe Utah's not great, but they've been recruiting at that level for a decade. And then before that, with Urban Meyer and when this coaching staff got there, they were recruiting at a really high level.
Well, it's not just the fact that these teams, when you look at TCU and you look at Utah and you look at Kansas State, it's not just the fact that they were recruiting in the P5. They were recruiting as top tier programs in the P5. TCU's won Big 12 titles. TCU's played played for the national title. Kansas State's won Big 12 titles. Freaking Utah has won Pac-12 titles.
Yep.
I mean, they're not just recruiting, saying, "Hey, guess what? We're P5 schools, so you can come and play and be a part of the best division." Their pitch is, we are competing for a national title. We want you to come here and help us win a national title. And it's not out of the question that they do that.
Hey, Brad, smile real good for the camera. Okay, I just wanted to get a good screenshot with this comment on the screen. Thank you, Bradley. I read this incorrectly wrong. I read that last word wrong, and it was something a little more graphic, but I'm glad he said this and not what I read.
I know what you read.
Yeah. Great comments tonight. I've been really impressed. We're over 600 viewers again. Sup, Towns?
What's
get
up?
An intern from Coog TV. We are actually going to have a kid, a guy working with us this year in basketball who works at Coog TV. He's going to do some video stuff with us, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. So, not an intern, but we're gonna start that pipeline. We've got the Daily Cougar Pipeline, or the Cougar Pipeline, as it's called. Excellent execution, and really, really believe that. Very happy to see. Widely available. You're showing up all around town. You really are seeing it. I've seen it. I was out today.
The crazy thing about having more and more gear out right now, there's so little gear when every time I'm out and I'm wearing my U of H hat, that's 20 some odd years old, but every time I'm wearing that, people look at me and I always get either kind of a look from like a fight. We treat each other like Fight Club. It's either a under our breath go Cougs, or it's a look and acknowledgement like, yeah, we're part of a secret society.
Really are.
I want
when that hat
truck
was
stop
born,
fans. I want gear everywhere.
Yeah.
All
Get your
licensed,
starter
of course.
jacket.
All licensed, of course. But then again, I would like to have. I mean, is it a bad thing to have a problem that people are trying to bootleg your merchandise because it's so good?
Yeah, it is a problem because you need the money. Galen, get on this. Get on this, Galen. Galen's done the Columbia blue, the Houston blue gear. I have a hoodie and a shirt here, but we're going to get Galen on this. We're going to have him do some GoCoogs merchandise, some Coug fans merchandise. That's going to be coming soon. He doesn't know he's doing it yet, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
Add me to the team, guys. We love your hype video, preview video trailer. 16 minutes. That was awesome. Maybe we could make some work here, buddy. We'll talk.
Send us your reel.
Send us your reel. Right. Do you have Huddle? Just send your highlights. Okay. I think that's going to be it. Did we have a good show or what? No athletes, no players, no coaches. So basketball is doing their night before the game tradition. They go to Kelvin's house. Miss Karen makes cookies. They watch film. I'm sure there's an NBA game on somewhere. They're playing Uno. They're doing all kind of stuff. They'll be ready to go tomorrow night. I think you'll see quite a bit of fun at 7:00. I'll be there at 3:30. Get set up, get going. I'm excited for it. This is.
I mean, you'll be there all day, won't you?
No, because it's off week for the football
that's
team.
right. That's
so
right.
I don't have to do any of that.
They
I
get to
can
be normal
sleep in.
human beings.
No, I don't.
No, they do.
They do. They're gonna. I think they're gonna lift, and then have kind of a light week, and playing golf with Jack Martin this week. Kind of excited about that. Gonna go destroy a college athlete in a sport. Thinking we're gonna try to get a couple other guys out and make this a lot of fun. I don't get a lot of chances to dominate college athletes in anything, but this is gonna happen.
What are you going to be playing?
Golf. It's a sport from Scotland.
Oh, yeah. I remember that game.
You do remember that game. Final thoughts, Brad?
Guys, it feels
You're
weird.
feeling weird, aren't you? Yeah.
It feels weird. It doesn't feel weird for football because I've been here. I've felt like things were turning at one point in football, at least a couple of times. So that's not really new. But as far as an athletic department goes, I complain a lot, and I don't have anything to complain about at all. And in fact, I'm singing their praises, which doesn't happen. Unsolicited.
Yeah. Tool of the man, Brad Towns, star pizza enthusiast.
And I do have some leftover pizza.
There you go. That'll make a nice meal or snack.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting an egg on top of it. Because eggs are good on anything.
Okay. That has never occurred to me.
I just thought about it.
Okay.
So,
well, good luck with that, buddy.
I'm crazy like that.
You know what we're going to do?
Sure.
We're going to do this again tomorrow night.
I was about to ask.
Third night in a row.
When do we do this show again?
Well, this show, we got another week, but we'll do another podcast tomorrow night. Galen, Brad, me, players, we're going to be good. We are going back.
We really got the Godfather coming back in. Is he going to be piping in all the way from Birmingham?
Birmingham. Look at my mother messaging from the home that we put her in. Hi, Mom.
Well, that's just. I'm glad she typed something as a proof of life.
Well, yeah, we check every day. Still
well,
there?
You're not kicking her downstairs again.
No, I don't kick her downstairs. She is the one for home, which is very, very good for everybody. Tomorrow night, the Cat Show following the game. Tomorrow morning, Jamie Hollingsworth preview, Jackson State. Jamie is doing a little bit lower profile preview on this one. than he will going forward. He had some stuff coming up, so had to take care of that. But he'll be good to go. His dad is flying in for the Auburn game next weekend, so that's pretty cool. GoCoogs all week. We have some very fun stuff this week. We've got cats. We've got some different events. We've got a story I've kind of been working on here and there for about 3 weeks, and I'm going to finally push it out, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe it sucks. Who knows? Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate this. Y'all have been awesome tonight. Great crowd and 2 great guests. Just really extraordinary night. You're seeing the tide turn at U of H, and you're going to do it with us at GoCoogs.com, at KookFans.com. Go over there and talk. Do something. All right. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. End it.